Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today I'll be revealing my team for Game Week 4. What I'll do is I'll look at how I did in Game Week 3. I'll look at the fixtures to get my planning thoughts together and hopefully yours as well. I'll reveal the moves I've already made in Game Week 4 and I'll explain about why I've made those moves already and it's very against my nature as a manager. And then I'll look at my tentative plans for Game Week 5 and my wildcard tentative plans for wildcard Game Week 6. Okay, before I do that, I just want to urge people to press that like button. It does help us out. Do leave a comment as well about how you're doing in game, what your plans are for Game Week 4 as well in the comments section below. Do leave a faithful comment wherever you're listening to this on your podcast, and also do subscribe as well to keep up to date with all our latest videos and podcasts as well. Also, do have a look at the members area at Fantasy Football Scout. I'm particularly using the planning tool on their app today. Lots of tools and gadgets there to help you climb up your money leagues. But yeah, for this particular video, I'll be looking at a lot of planning. I've already done a Game Week 4 wildcard draft video. I mean, if the international break is cruel to me, then I will use the wild card, but I don't want to, and that video explains why. Really, there's players I want in Game Week 4, 5. There's players I don't want them Game Week 6. There's players I want in Game Week 6. I don't really want Game Week 4 and 5. So for me, Game Week wildcard 6 suits me, and I'm doing okay for 4 and 5. I hope. Okay, let's have a look at Game Week 3. So this is, it's getting, international break now, so looking far back. I've got 69 points, above average, but it was a red arrow, down to 1.2 million. Red, green arrows and ranks, doesn't really matter at this stage. But so I'm probably about 20 points off where I sort of ideally would be. So I had Henderson with 4 points. Pedro Porro with 1 point. Gabriel, 2 points. Robinson, 4 points. Smith Rowe, a couple of points. Gordon, 2 points. Diogo Jota, 3 points. A lot of blanks here. Saka, 6 points. Muniz, 2 points. Haaland saved me, 34 points from the captaincy there. Isak, 9 points, very welcome. Minters, 4 points, was on my bench. And I've got Quansah and Barco and Fabianski. Barco, I'm okay with. As I said, I'm going to wildcard Game Week 6. I can stomach the third sub, 4 million. That's fine. And he won't. And because he's on loan to Seville, he won't go up or down in prices. Price is locked. Well, as far as we can tell with the algorithm. Quansah is an issue though. Not only is he plummeting in price, but I already have Diogo Jota. As I'll reveal with my Game Week 4 side, I do have another Liverpool player. So if I want to get another Liverpool player in, Quansah has to go. But I might not have the money because Quansah keeps hemorrhaging money from my team on a weekly basis. So he's annoying. He's blocking a third Liverpool place. And if I change him for another Liverpool player, I might not have the money to do it to the players I want, which is annoying. Okay. So before I look at my Game Week 4 side, I just have a look at the fixtures. And I've separated them in Game Weeks 4 and 5 and then Game Week 6. I've done this on a couple of other videos. And I think a lot of people watching and listening will be sort of very familiar with like who's got good fixtures coming up. But this is just a useful reminder. It sort of helps me get my thoughts together as well. Game Weeks 4 and 5. Brighton, great. Home, Ipswich and Nottingham Forest. On paper, great. They're top of this particular fixture thing. Ipswich as well. I mean, Brighton away and Southampton away. There's certainly potential there for their attacking players. Crystal Palace at home to Leicester and Manchester United. Southampton at home to Manchester United and Ipswich. Aston Villa at home to Everton and Wolves. So lots of teams with 2 home fixtures. It's like I don't know how the fixture planners have done this, but you don't see this too often. We're like 2 good fixtures in a row. But nevertheless, Liverpool probably the best of this because they've got Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth at home. Chelsea, Bournemouth and West Ham away. Manchester United not too bad. Southampton and Crystal Palace away. Fulham, West Ham and Newcastle. So not the greatest home fixtures, but 2 home fixtures nevertheless. And Fulham are better at home, I think. And it doesn't matter on the opposition. Worst fixtures though: Brentford, Man City, and Tottenham away. Arsenal, Tottenham away. Man City away. Bournemouth, Liverpool away, and Chelsea at home. Nottingham Forest of Liverpool away, and Brighton away. So not good for Nottingham Forest defenders in particular. Tottenham have Arsenal at home, and then Brentford at home. So half and half. And same with Man City. They've got Brentford at home, but also Arsenal away. Arsenal at home rather. So it's mixed bag there. Also some dark horse teams that are not getting interest at the moment from content creators, but you'll start to hear their names. West Ham have Fulham away and Chelsea at home. You're going to hear Bowen a lot. Not this week, but coming up. I'm fairly sure of that amongst the content creators. So anyway, that's game weeks 4 and 5. That's all of the teams and players I'm interested in. Games weeks 6 onwards. So this is completely different. Brighton are bottom now. So all those lovely Brighton players I don't want them now. I don't want them until sort of game week 12 when their fixtures improve, because they've got Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle, Wolves. That's good. Liverpool and Man City. Terrible fixture on 6 to 11. Meanwhile, some others, Brentford, remember they had their sort of quite a poor couple of games. Well, okay, but yeah, they got City in that in game weeks 4 and 5, but now they've got West Ham at home, Wolves at home, Manchester United away, Ipswich at home, Fulham away, Bournemouth at home. It's a great run, and it carries on as well. It's worth noting that Brentford and Brighton rotate really well as well. So this suddenly we've got these new sort of patterns emerging in the fixtures that I want to tap into there. Man City, yes, they do have Newcastle away in game week 6, but then it becomes brilliant. Fulham at home, Wolves away, Southampton at home, Bournemouth away, Brighton away. West Ham, remember I mentioned them, both Brentford away, they've got Ipswich at home. There's going to be a lot of interest in West Ham in game week 7. Tottenham away, not so good. Manchester United at home, I think that's good for West Ham, attackers in particular. Nottingham Forest away, Everton at home. It's a good run. Meanwhile, Chelsea sort of start dipping down a bit. They do have Brighton and Nottingham Forest. Remember that sort of great in the fixtures, getting 2 okay home games there. Brighton, Chelsea turning into a bit of a derby, and Nottingham Forest at home, but nevertheless, good fixtures at home. Liverpool away, Newcastle at home, Manchester United away, Arsenal at home. So you can see it gets worse for Chelsea there. So these are the sorts of things I'm looking at for my the fixture changes, really. So let's put my game week 4 side up. Now I've done this via the planner. I have actually made these moves. There's 2 moves I've made. I've already made them. I had 2 free transfers. I have done that. I did that at the weekends. It was partly, it's definitely with price rises, but in mind because the money it leaves me in the bank is just enough. It gives me a fighting chance to do the move I want to make, and I still don't think I'm going to be able to make it, but at least it gives me a fighting chance. It also means I'm getting players in that I want that are going up in value, and they're going up quite a lot, I think. So I've used the planner tool for this, but I have actually made these moves. I've got Henderson in goal, Leicester at home, brilliant. I've got a 3-4-3 with Pedro. Now this is the 2 players I've got with tricky fixtures. Pedro Porro, Gabriel, they play each other, but they're both very attacking. Could Gabriel get some kind of attacking return? Could Porro get some kind of attacking return? It's all possible. So, I'm okay with those 2. Robinson at home to West Ham. He's proving a very useful asset, that Fulham defender. Minter elevated off my bench into my main team. At home to Ipswich. Gordon away to Wolves. I'm okay with that. But we'll watch. He's on a watching brief, because if he's playing on the right, he's less effective, I think. But he scored in his last away game, so I'm a hopeful. Diogo Jota did play for Portugal. So to timestamp this, I'm recording this on Monday morning. At the weekend, he played for Portugal. I think he played most minutes in that game. But he's got Nottingham Forest at home, so I'll take I'll take 10 minutes off the bench for him. But last season I would under Klopp, but under Slot, the attacking players are muted in the last 20 minutes or so, because if they're in the lead, they're trying to see out the game. They're not trying to get like win 7-0. They're trying to just win the 3-0 and make sure they win 3-0. I've got Salah. He's new in. So Saka has been removed for Salah. And he's I haven't captained him, but I'm very tempted to. I've got Muniz still at home to West Ham. You know, he's got a couple more games, but he will go on the wild card. I've got Haaland as my captain at home to Brentford, but I mean, it could be a toss of coin chance with Salah and Haaland, but I think I marginally prefer Haaland for this one because he's at home. Well, both of them are at home, but I just think Haaland at home. Pedro is new in. I've removed Isaac for Pedro. I'm quite happy with that. One of the reasons I was okay to lose Isaac, who I think is a strong option, because I've still got Gordon. So I've still tapped into that Newcastle attack, so I'm okay with that. I've got Fabianski on my bench. Smith Rowe is my first sub, so I'm very happy with my first sub. And usually the week after the international break, I can't stress this enough. I mean, this is my 16th season. The week after the international break, you need a bench. Maybe one, maybe two, but your bench will be needed because there will be surprises. Suddenly they think, oh, the player that you think is going to play maybe hasn't had so many minutes. Maybe they got back to training. And the manager thought, well, you know, we train with these other people. So there's surprise benchings or no-shows, surprise injuries, that type of thing. Anyway, Smith Rowe is going to be needed. So I've got Muniz, Haaland, my captain, João Pedro, and on my bench, Smith Rowe, Quansah, who's now 4.3. He's hovering around the going down to 4.2 mark. And I've still got Barco there. It says I've got 1.9 million in the bank. I've actually got 1.8 million in the bank as well. So this planning tour has got to catch up with that. But my expected points is 57. I've got an 89% ranking for that, rating for that. So I'm happy with that because my two sort of dodgy players, Porro and Gabriel, I think will do well if they can get attacking returns. But yeah, big if. I'm okay with that. They're good players and good teams, so you can't argue with that too much. I think my bench will be needed though. Quansah is a worry because maybe Gabriel doesn't show up. I don't know, but I would like to have a defender sub for this. Made my moves. I'm okay with this. Now, I'll explain a bit about why I've made those moves early as well. So I just think this year is different because the previous 3 years or so, the pricing has meant that, you can wait until Friday. But pricing is so tough as well. And people and players like Salah, for example, are they going to go really up in price? But also with these premiums, you can't have them all. So you've got to juggle them around. So if you can get a double price rise and make a little bit of profit and sell, that even when you buy them back and they're going to cost more or perhaps they'll go down in price, you can sort of mitigate against that. And I think you're going to need that this season more than other seasons, which is annoying for a player like me that likes the information. I've got 1.8 million in the bank. Now, Quansah is 4.3. So with my 1.8 million, that's 6.1. So I can turn Quansah to Robertson. I could do it for a hit this week if I think that Robertson's going to get me 4 points more. I'd like to ideally do it for game week 5. But Quansah is very close to dropping again. Okay, I've got 0.1. I can handle that. Robertson's really is going to be popular, but hopefully he's popular on people's wildcards, so that doesn't sort of count to the price rises. And so when Robertson goes up and Quansah goes down, I've got 5.9 left for Quansah's replacement, and that's going to price. That's locked me out of Robertson and Quansah. I don't know have I done that right? 5.9. No, I'll have. No. The reason I'll have 6 million, but of course Robertson will be 6.1. I could get Van Dijk in. I could just leave it and game week 5 and then carry that transfer forward. And there is an argument that it could be more valuable this season. This season we can carry transfers through wildcards. So I could do that. What I probably will do, if I'm totally priced out the Robertson move, I'll probably just upgrade Barco to Dunk, because Dunk's against Nottingham Forest at home. It does have some attacking threat as well. So I'd be okay with that. But, you know, I don't want to. I don't want to do a hit this week. I think I'm okay. I'm okay with this. But if there's lots of international injuries, I may have to take a hit. I may just have to wildcard, in which case I refer you back to my Game Week 4 video, my wildcard draft video and podcast, because that's got all my thoughts to that. Not ideal, but anyway. So how will this team look in Game Week 5? So I've got my Game Week 5 team up here, because the planner tool enables me to do that. I've got only a couple of players with bad fixtures, and this is with no transfers so far. So this Game Week 5 would have me Henderson in goal. Pedro Porro's at home to Brentford, good. Gabriel is away to Man City, that's bad. So ideally I'd like to bench or get rid of Gabriel. But I can't replace him with a Liverpool player because Quansah is sitting there. I can't replace him with a Brighton player because Barco is sitting there. So I have to, if I want one of those two ones, which is the best ones, I think, I've got to remove Quansah or Barco. Anyway, Robinson I've got at home to Newcastle. Not ideal, but okay. I've got Minter at home to Nottingham Forest. Gordon away to Fulham. Diego Jota, Bournemouth, and Salah at home to Bournemouth, and he would be my captain. He's a standout captain. Muniz, Haaland, and Pedro. I could remove Haaland for Watkins, but you know Haaland's a good player, so you know I'm okay with. I'm okay with this one. The expected points rating is a bit lower than last week, but it would be higher if I can beef up that defence a bit. So if I could get like a Robertson, ideally. God. So if you're watching and you're tempted to get Robertson, just ignore those thoughts. Just do not get him in until I can get him in. I don't want his price going up. And if you've got Quansah, just keep him. Oh, just keep him. Yeah, don't get rid of him. So I would ideally do that, and that would bump up my expected points rating for Game Week 5. And why I don't want a wildcard in Game Week 4, but I will if I have to, but I don't want to, is because Game Week 6, I've already drafted my Game Week 6 wildcard team, and I love it. I love it because of all the different sort of rotations and price points and points like that. So as I was explaining before, with Game Week 6 onwards, you're starting to look at teams like Brentford. Brighton you don't want. West Ham suddenly be interesting. Arsenal, very interesting. They've got Leicester at home. Bournemouth are quite interesting as well. And meanwhile, Aston Villa's fixtures are still pretty good as well. So in Game Week 6, I mean, this would be a big change for me. So I would have Flecken and Verbruggen as my goalkeeper rotation. The Brighton-Brentford rotation is excellent. At the back, I would have Robinson. I mean, he's away to Nottingham Forest, great. Gabriel, home to Leicester. Alexander-Arnold would be, the player I would love to have now, but I can't get him without hits. He would just be my sole Liverpool asset away to Wolves. But I leave myself the flexibility to be able to get Salah at any point, hopefully within 2 moves. Brian Mbomo, I see him as absolutely key at home to West Ham. Saka would be my captain at home to Leicester. Bowen I've gone for. So like I said about Robertson, don't get Robertson because I don't want his price to go up. Don't get rid of Quansah, I don't want his price to go down. Don't get Bowen because I want to get Bowen at 7.5 or so, 7.6 or 7.7 maybe, but I don't want to pay more. Okay, so don't get Bowen till I do. Semenyo is looking like he could be the Bournemouth talisman. He's a player that rotates quite well with some other players, and he's at home to Southampton this week. But yeah, I'm quite happy from first bench or to play. Havertz I've gone for, so I've got this Gabriel Saka Havertz triple up here. Once again, don't get Havertz in before I do. Haaland is not the greatest fixture away to Newcastle. I'll take it though, because from Game Week 7 I really want him in. And I've got Wissa as well. So for that. I've got that Brentford triple up for all their good fixtures there. Vissa I like because Vissa can go down to João Pedro whenever Brighton's fixtures improve, which is Game Week 12. Also, there are other players around that price point as well, the Chris Woods, those types of players that you can move to as well. I've got for Bruggen on the bench first sub Rodgers. So Rodgers and Semenyo, I think, rotate pretty well. I think there's one fixture where they don't, but they're fairly good to rotate with. Rodgers is quite handy. I think if you're going to give yourself a bit of flexibility, go for like a Haaland, a Saka, even if you want to get a Salah and a Haaland, I think you need to be looking at 5 million-ish midfielders. That's what I think, because I think there is value in spending money in defence. I've got Van de Ven as my defender. I really like him. I think he's got really good attacking threat. I like him. I know Spurs fans like him, but I do think he's a good option. And I can't quite get to Porro with this. Obviously, I've got Gabriel, I've got Alexander-Arnold. Porro could be one. I've got Mascaro at Wolves as my 4.0. Could be Greaves at Ipswich. But Wolves fixtures improve game week, I don't know when it is, 9, 10. And it goes way up to like New Year or something, Boxing Day. So having a Wolves defender will be really handy. So this is sort of future proofing me. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this is a game week 4 video. I've really overstepped it, but I think other people, just the feedback I get from some of these videos is they like that sort of when I put the fixtures up and I put my notes about what my plans are. So I thought I'd go a bit further this time and actually just show, what my team might look like. This is the team, when you do a wild card and you think, oh, I really like that. So I've got 0.3 in the bank with this. If I can't quite afford that, so, prices change, Alexander-Arnold can be Robertson. I could look at, say, not having Gabriel and having some kind of Lewis Dunk and Brentford defender double up and just going for Raya, who's 5.5, and a blank goalkeeper. So there's ways of saving a bit of money there. I might have to do without Bowen. The rest of them I really want. I guess Robinson can go down to a 4.0, but I don't like 2.40s there. So there's money that can be shaved off this in various places. Ideally, I would like to get to this point, but I'm also hoping that some of the players that I've got at the moment, like Salah, for example, who I'll be selling, I'll actually make a bit of profit on as well. So that might help me out there. So I'll go back to my Game Week 4 side, because that's what this is all about. I've just got ahead of myself here. Game Week 4, as I said, Porro and Gabriel are my sort of weak links, but they're good players and good teams. So are they really weak links? Well, yeah, arguably, yes, in this fixture because they're playing each other. But, I could get some attacking returns. So that would be my absolute dream. 1-1, Pedro Porro and Gabriel goals. That's my dream result for this one. Well, obviously, the better result will be like 3-0 to Arsenal. Gabriel gets a hat-trick or Spurs get a hat-trick in a 3-0 and Porro scores them all. But I'm trying to be realistic here. Quansah. So, if you get any message from this video, don't get Robertson in and don't sell Quansah. At least until I can get them in. But I might have to make that, if those changes don't go, I might have to make another early move next weekend. So it's really, this season's starting to go against the way I play, but you just got to move with the times, haven't you? Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope it's been of use to you. Good luck with your Game Week 4 decisions. I'll be back this week with Tom and Neil and the FPL General, lots of other videos. And there's all more videos aside, Scoutcast, burning questions, all of those types of things. So do watch them. Thanks a lot. Take care. See you soon.